Welcome to the deep dive. We're looking into something really interesting today. The kind of surprising return of privacy coins.
Yeah, it's definitely turning heads.
Totally. You might even be hearing whispers about 100x potential for some of these in 2025, which sounds pretty bold, right? Especially with all the crypto regulations tightening up globally.
It does seem contradictory, yeah. And that's really the core of this deep dive. We're talking about privacy-focused cryptocurrencies.
Right.
These are designed, to obscure the details, who sent what to whom, how much. Very different from something like Bitcoin, where it's all on a public ledger.
So why now? Why the spotlight again?
Well, it seems to boil down to this fundamental tension. More people wanting personal financial privacy, clashing head-on with governments wanting more oversight, stricter rules.
Okay, that makes sense. A real push and pull. So our mission today is basically to unpack what's driving this renewed interest, look at some key players, and importantly, get a handle on the opportunities and, let's be real, the significant risks for you.
Exactly. We'll focus specifically on Monero, XMR, Zcash, ZEC, and also Dash, DESH.
The big three, sort of.
Yeah, each with its own way of doing privacy, and they all had, pretty distinct journeys through 2025 so far.
Okay, let's dive into Monero first, XMR.
Yeah.
Often called the gold standard, right, for privacy.
Mm-hmm. That's the reputation.
How does it actually achieve that kind of complete, always-on anonymity? And, what's its recent performance telling us?
Monero's big thing is mandatory privacy. It's not optional. Every single transaction uses ring signatures, basically, mixing your transaction output with others so you can't tell who the real sender is.
Okay.
Then it uses one-time stealth addresses, so the recipient's actual address isn't public. And ring CT hides the amount.
So sender, receiver, amount, all obscured.
Completely. It builds this impenetrable wall, untraceable transactions, true fungibility, meaning each coin is identical to any other coin.
And it's been remarkably resilient, hasn't it? I mean, there was that whole 51% attack scare from a mining group back in August 25.
Right, the Quebec situation.
Yeah. But the community pushed back, price bounced back pretty quickly. Yet at the same time, big exchanges like Binance delisted it. Compliance issues, they said.
Exactly. And that's the paradox. Monero still holds, around 58% of the privacy coin market cap. Usage is apparently growing, especially in places like the Asia-Pacific region.
So the regulatory pressure, which cuts off mainstream access through big exchanges,
ironically seems to fuel adoption among people who really prioritize that absolute privacy. They find other ways.
But that pressure is real. You mentioned compliance. How big a hurdle is that?
It's huge. We're talking over 97 countries with stricter rules, specifically targeting privacy coins. Delistings limit liquidity, make it hard to cash out, and basically scare off big institutional money.
Right. And that Quebec incident, even though they fought it off, still highlighted potential risks, like mining centralization, maybe?
Definitely. It's a constant balancing act. High stakes.
Okay, so Monero's default, hardcore privacy. But what if you want privacy, but maybe not all the time, like an option?
Well, that brings us nicely to Zcash, ZEC. It takes a different path.
How does Zcash try to balance that privacy need with maybe being a bit more compliance-friendly? And what were its big moments in 2025?
Zcash uses really advanced cryptography, specifically ZK snarks, zero-knowledge proofs.
Ah, yeah, heard of those.
That sounds complex. They are. But basically, they let you prove a transaction is valid without revealing the sender, receiver, or amount. The key is selective disclosure. You can choose fully shielded, private transactions, or transparent ones, like Bitcoin.
So you get a choice.
You get a choice. It's trying to offer the best of both worlds, in theory.
And technically, it seems strong. Didn't Zcash have a major network upgrade recently, August 2025?
It did, yeah. Boosted transaction speed, cut confirmation times, led to a huge spike in new addresses, over 300,000 in just a week, apparently.
Wow. And the price?
Yeah, the price went nuts, like a 9x increase, which, really underscores the volatility here. Huge potential, huge risk. It even managed to get some institutional custody support, which is interesting.
But there's a catch, right? With the optional privacy.
There is. It's a dilemma. Because privacy is optional, a lot of Zcash transactions aren't shielded. They're transparent.
Which means the pool of private transactions is smaller.
Exactly. It reduces the effective anonymity set, the crowd, to hide in. And despite trying to be more compliant, regulators often just lump it in with Monero anyway.
So it still faces delisting?
Oh, yeah. Major exchanges have dropped it, too. Zcash's story really shows that even with clever tech, the market and regulators can paint all privacy coins with the same broad, maybe unfair brush. It forces projects into tough spots.
Okay, so Monero, mandatory privacy, Zcash, sophisticated optional privacy. What about Dash? D-H. Where does it fit in?
Dash started as digital cash. Its main goal has always been fast, easy payments, almost like digital cash you can spend easily. Privacy is more of an add-on
It's
feature.
an add-on. How does that work?
It uses something called private send, which is based on a technique called coin join. It's essentially a mixer.
A mix.
Yeah, it pools transactions from multiple users, shuffles the coins around, and then pays everyone out. Makes it harder to directly trace the path of specific coins. But it's generally considered, let's say, privacy-like compared to Monero or a fully shielded Zcash transaction.
Okay, less intense privacy, maybe more focus on usability.
That seems to be the angle.
And Dash also had a big upgrade in 2025, right? Genesis launched something called Dash Platform Evolution.
Yeah, that's right. Genesis was a big deal for them. It aimed to expand Dash beyond just payments, enabling things like a token ecosystem on its platform. There was even talk about potential EVM compatibility.
EVM like Ethereum.
Exactly, connecting with the Ethereum virtual machine environment. That possibility, plus the upgrade itself, helped drive a pretty significant price surge, about 150%. And they landed a partnership with Btrfil, which is good for usability.
But the same old story with regulations.
Pretty much. Delistings from exchanges hit Dash too. And honestly, it struggled a bit with mindshare. It kind of gets overshadowed by the hardcore privacy coins on one side and newer, faster payment cryptos on the other. It's still trying to carve out its definitive niche,
Yeah.
Tough spot. So pulling this all together, what does it mean for you, the listener? Privacy coins seem to be at a real crossroads. Absolute critical juncture. You've got this clear, growing demand for financial privacy meeting very intense and increasing regulatory heat.
It feels like more than just another crypto market trend. It's high stakes, high reward, maybe high risk.
Definitely both. The potential for explosive growth is there if they can figure out the regulatory maze and make themselves easier to use. But the risk, getting completely sidelined, maybe even banned in some places, that's very real too.
So for anyone looking at this space, maybe thinking of getting involved, what's the takeaway? We put together a kind of checklist. First up, research the tech.
Crucial. You need to understand how Monero's ring signatures work, or Zcash's ZK snarks, or Dash's coin join. The mechanism is the product, essentially.
Right. Second, know your laws. Seriously, check the regulations on privacy coins where you live. They differ wildly from place to place.
Super important. Third, security first. Use the official wallets. Seriously consider a hardware wallet. These coins are targets because of their nature.
Good point. And fourth, plan your exit, or at least know your options. Where can you actually trade these if you need to?
Yeah, given the mainstream exchange delistings, you need to look at maybe decentralized exchanges, DEXs, or peer-to-peer platforms. Have a plan B.
Okay, so maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is this. In a world that feels increasingly surveilled, will financial privacy become like a premium commodity, something that fundamentally changes how we think about digital cash?
Or will it stay this niche, maybe contested, ideal? It's really a bet on what the future of financial freedom even looks like.
A big question, definitely something to think about.